What is the CSCA and what is a SuperSprint? The CSCA is the Combined Sports Car Association, and it was formed by a group of English marque car clubs with the objective of running track events for their members. The clubs take turns to run timed supersprints on locations such as today's event at Sydney MotorSport Park at Eastern Creek. The participants can run any car they wish providing it is roadworthy and will pass scrutineering. There are relatively few requirements, and they include carrying a fire extinguisher within reach of the driver, tow points at the front and rear and plastic coverings over the headlights. Open cars such as convertibles need to have rollover protection. Drivers must wear ankle to wrist clothing, crash helmets, and have a basic competition license from MotorSport Australia. Details are provided to entrants in the supplementary regulations that are issued with your invitation to compete. Cars are not permitted to race against each other and are competing against the clock. They are sent out in single file and are monitored by officials to ensure safety standards are met. Timing is by electronic devices that are attached to the front of the car, so complete accuracy is assured. Vehicles must have numbers that are clearly displayed so that officials can identify individual vehicles by sight. A driver's briefing is held before any cars are sent out to ensure that everybody is aware of regulations and safety standards. Today, we are introducing you to various drivers and their cars, largely from the Jaguar Drivers Club of Australia and some others that took our eye. The objective of these events is to have fun, explore the capabilities of your car in a relatively safe environment. Tracks like Sydney MotorSport Park have large runoff areas for the most part in case drivers get a little too ambitious and overestimate their abilities. However, any motorsport event is at your own risk, and most insurance policies do not cover any damage incurred during timed events. You can see what events run each year if you go to www.jaguar.org.au and study the calendar. You might also have a chat to the competition secretary of your club. Enjoy.
Okay, so my name's Malcolm Ellis. I'm driving a 27 model Jaguar F-Type. It's the 5-litre V8.
How's it going?
It's going well. This is my third year of doing SuperSprints, and in the first session which ran now, I managed to slightly improve my previous personal best. So I'm hoping that session 2 will be a little bit further improvement and get that out of the way before things get a little too hot to improve.
Your name and what is the car you're driving today, please?
Jeff Blakeney, and it's a 2002 S-Type Jag.
Okay, and how long have you had the car, Jeff?
I've had it now for about 5 or 6 years.
And it was originally an automatic when you started, I believe.
It was, and last year at one of the events, the gearbox gave up. So my son-in-law and I put a manual 5-speed gearbox in it.
And has that made a big improvement to the car?
Definitely, yes.
And how many events would you have run the car in?
Well, I try to do the 7 events every year, plus the event down in Victoria with the Victorian Jag Club. This year, because my wife and I were overseas for a couple of months, we only got about half the events done.
Okay, do you use it for the circuits?
Basically just for circuit sprints, yeah. Occasionally I take it out for a run if I'm going somewhere, but
So it is a road registered car.
it is road registered, yes.
Would you encourage any other S-type owners from the club to come out and play?
Oh, definitely, yes. Yes, it's a really good way to get into motorsport.
How many other cars? S-types.
At the moment, I'm not quite sure. There were about 3 or 4 of us, but I'm about the only one that turns up at the track now.
I see that. But it's not mechanical issues that are causing the dropout?
I don't think so, no.
No.
I mean, I've never had any serious problems except for the gearbox.
And is the car modified in any way?
Yes, I've put wider wheels on it. I've got 9.5-inch rims,
Right.
and I put lowering springs.
Okay. Mechanically, anything else?
And, mechanically, it's stock standards.
So it's absolutely small.
Yeah.
I just did actually notice a new vehicle, a used vehicle.
Okay, hi, my name's David Zilm. I'm actually owner of this R33 Skyline GTST, so it's not a GTR, so two-wheel drive only. And I've been developing it over the years as a full-on track car, which it is now. Effectively, don't have a lot of aero on it, but maybe we take a bit of a look around the car and you can see what I've done.
That'd be great. Perhaps you might give us a guided tour.
No problems at all. Well, let's start at the boot. So with the fuel system, which I think is probably worth looking at. So I mean, it's pretty much a track-ready setup where I run a full surge tank. So I've got a Frenchie's Performance billet hat and fuel hanger system in the fuel tank. I run E85. That then pushes the fuel into the surge tank. Then I have 2 external pumps which feed the E85 to the engine. So I've got a dash 8 feed and a dash 6 return. And that pretty much looks after the fuel system. I can pretty much run the tank down to quarter full and still not really get any surge. So if we continue to walk around the car.
Sure. Well, before you do that,
Sure.
tell us why you would have a surge tank on a car like this.
Well, obviously for circuit work, you know, you tune the car to really go around corners with a lot more G's, if you like, than you would with a road car. So as your fuel level gets low, then you're going to get a lot of sloshing of fuel around in the actual fuel tank. And if there's ever, or if there's potentially then a risk that the fuel pump inside the tank will actually just suck air for a period of time. The minute you do that, you lose fuel pressure. Then you know, the engine's likely to lean out, and nasty things can happen when an engine at full speed starts to lean out. So you can start to get detonation and horrible things like that, which can ruin an engine. So
it happens in a really quick time.
it does happen in a very quick time. That's exactly right. So it's really important to ensure that you always get a consistent supply of fuel to the engine. Okay, so this is as I mentioned earlier, a GDST. So it runs the stock RB25 motor. So it's a 2.5 litre turbo. Came as a single turbo installation originally, and I've really just modified it from there. So when I say modify it, it's got you know, better camshafts, it's got forged pistons in it, and better con rods, but standard crank. Oil pump has just got billet gears, so I run the standard oil pump with billet gears. Haven't gone for high volume. Probably the most important thing is I run gapless piston rings, and everyone knows that RBs are renowned for pushing oil into the catch can. Well, I don't do that. And I think that a lot of it's as a result of not having a high volume pump and using gapless rings, so I don't get as much blow-by. High volume pumps are just going to push a lot of oil to the cylinder head, in my view. So just run it with what the factory provided, and I've never had a problem with the engine at all. So you can see I run a Plasman plenum on the standard manifold, which again the factory did a great job. Got an aftermarket fuel rail. I run 1600 cc injectors for the E85, which perform very nicely. The thing will idle like a Swiss watch, yet it will still perform very nicely at full power. You can, on this side of the engine, you can see I've got a low mount turbo. So this is a Speed Tech exhaust manifold. I really wanted to maintain the low mount turbo because you get a better exhaust system. Obviously it's smoother flowing and allows me to get a really nice cold air box to the intake. pretty much the engine. Okay, so here's the interior. As you can see, it's really fully stripped out. It's got a fully welded in roll cage, which I think is a nice safety thing. You know, I feel pretty safe and secure when I'm strapped into this chair inside this roll cage. You can see the dash is very minimalistic, pretty straightforward. Still maintain the standard handbrake, you know, standard gearbox, so it's still got the famous R33 RB25 gearbox in it, which has performed extremely well over the years. You can see I have an oil accumulator, so if I do happen to lose any oil pressure at any stage, that'll give me a couple of seconds of to maintain pressure. So hopefully that would keep the engine running. And the best thing of all is the digital dash, which gives me a bunch of warning lights. It gives me all the engine vitals that I need, and if anything's going wrong with the engine, I've got warning lights that will tell me, so I can slow down and hopefully not damage the engine. So pretty austere cockpit, but certainly does the job.
We are the grid people. My wife and I do this every year for our club. We've been doing it probably for about 6 or 7 years now, and so we're responsible for marshalling the cars in the correct order, or changing the position if they ask to be changed to a different spot if they're running too quickly opposed to some of the others. So it's a pretty full-on day. We get here very early in the morning and just make ourselves familiar with who's running on the day, and basically that's what we do. We get them out and get them out.
How many groups have we got today?
So today we've got 6 groups. The biggest group we've got is 14 cars in the group, so that one is pretty full on. We have a run sheet that has the names of everybody, their car numbers and everything, so we can get them in the right order. And hopefully we'll probably get maybe 4 or 5 maybe runs for this particular session. So.
Any particular problems today?
Only cars coming through the exit gate to line up. We try to discourage that because it can be a bit confusing for other drivers. But other than that, it's run pretty smoothly so far. There hasn't been really any bad incidents on the track that I'm aware of. And I usually get all the communications from the tower. So I'm in constant contact with Nick, who's the clerk, of course. So yeah, it's been a pretty good day so far.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Pleasure.
Giddy, maybe not. Oh, we're not leaving here. Yeah. I will do that, mate. Yeah. Okay. We're not leaving here. I'm going straight home.
Hi, I'm Alex Kenny from the Jaguar Drivers Club of Australia. We're here with my father today. We're driving these fantastic CN prototype cars. The one you see behind us is a Nova Proto, NV01 from France. It runs a Honda K20 Turbo. It's awesomely quick, 600 kilos. The current lap I've done around here in this is a 124.9.
Wow.
Yeah, this is just awesomely quick, fun cars.
What about your car, Neil?
Well, I normally get to drive the old car, the Cheetah, but today I'm getting to drive the new car, and it's quite fantastic to drive. I'm just getting used to it. Brilliant piece of engineering, very nice motor car, really good. And a lot of fun. We're doing this for probably 35, 40 years. He's been doing it for 30 plus years, and he's very, very good at it.
Like father, like son. No regulations. I know it's a beautiful car. I thought you're having fun in it too. So this car, one of the best cars I've ever.
We've got another vehicle here. What is this one?
This is an English Juno, and I've phoned for the LMP cars and lots of prototypes. This one's an LMP3. The company unfortunately was bought out by Ginetta in England for the LMP1 cars. They sold this LMP3 car off to their Portuguese distributor. Unfortunately went bankrupt during the COVID shutdown. So we then, it's been a brilliant little car to drive, absolutely fantastic. Uses a 2-litre Ford Duratec engine, about 300 horsepower, 325 horsepower. Very quick little thing, quite awesome to drive, and these cars are just so much fun. So we had to go and buy a new French car because we couldn't get another Juno.
So my name's John Dunning, I'm a member of the Jaguar Drivers Club. Been a member since 1986 and here for the Jaguar Drivers Club SuperSprint.
And what are you driving today?
So I've got my replica D-Type. It's built in 1975 and has a historic logbook, and I've owned it for the last 25 years.
And how's it going today?
Today it's going very well. I'm very happy with the way it's going. It had problems last meeting with electrics and it's been fixed up. So I've gone up a group and now I'm going to go down and see about going up another group.
And what's the history of this particular car? It's not a genuine one.
So obviously it's a replica, but because it's very old and it was raced by the guys who built it when they built it in 1976, they finished it and got a logbook back then, a Group 3 logbook, and raced it for 10 years. And then in the 1990s, it was eligible for a historic Group Q logbook. So it got a Group Q logbook in the 1990s, and then I bought it at the end of the 1990s. I think the other one's a Ferrari replica.
So today we have the famous Tyrannosaurus here, and who have we got as the owners?
Yeah, I'm Guy Robson.
And I'm Chrissy Robson.
Yeah.
And you're both driving the car today?
Yeah.
We are, yes.
Okay. Chrissy, you're one of the relatively few lady drivers here today.
It seems that way, yes.
Are you having fun?
Oh my gosh. It is so fun. It is so fun.
And what's the Tyranno like to handle around here?
Exciting.
Ooh, exciting. Excess of power over adhesion, perhaps?
I suppose the answer should be yes, but you kind of get used to it, which I know sounds crazy. I never thought I would say that when I first started driving it. But Guy said that I would, and I didn't believe him, but it's true.
I see. So what sort of times are you both doing around here?
I wasn't going to look till the end.
Well, then you won't ask.
Do you know?
I don't. No, I haven't actually looked. I know it's on NetSoc, but I haven't looked yet.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you had this Tyranno?
Since 2001 or 2.
Right.
Yeah. So quite a while.
And you're both members of the Jaguar Drivers Club?
We are.
We are, yes.
And how long have you been members?
Since 2001 or 2. It's all Brian Todd's fault.
It is.
Yeah. Would you recommend that club members bring their cars out on CSCA?
That's a hearty hell yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's too much fun.
Yeah.
That's pretty definite.
Yeah. It's too much fun.
And you think more ladies should be coming out?
Yes, definitely. They don't know what they're missing. It is so much fun, and you learn how to drive properly, and it just teaches you about your car, how it handles, which I think is actually a good thing for the road, because things can happen and then you're ready for it.
And have you ever done any driver training courses, Chris?
I have. I did the Warren Luff course quite a few years ago. And in Finland too. And I really recommended it because it actually really helped me with my confidence. But years ago, the JCCA used to do driver training days down at Wakefield. And they had excellent teachers that would take us out on the track and improve our times and improve our technique, which is paramount to getting a faster time. So get your technique right, get a faster time.
Something we should be redoing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yes.
They were very good days.
They were.
And kids could come along and have a great time too, and learn a bit of car control and some skill.
Right.
Yeah, makes better drivers.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you very much, folks.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
So please tell me who you are and what you're driving.
Okay, so my name is Tim Mallion and I'm driving a 1964 Mark II Jaguar. Boy, I think it's probably at least 25 years I've been a member.
Right.
Yeah.
And what sort of things have you done to the Mark II?
Well, the Mark II, I bought it as a $1,000 wreck. So I stripped it down to a shell. I put in a Mark X 4.2 engine with triple SU carburetors, so that's been upgraded. I've upgraded the suspension. It runs a standard Jaguar Moss gearbox, which are unbreakable. They're the best thing for racing. It has a limited slim differential in it out of an E-type, and it has ventilated brakes and upgraded calipers on the front.
So how many years did you think it took you to do it?
It took me 4 years to put the car together.
Right.
I finished it at around the year 2000. So I've been doing this now for 24 years.
That's a pretty long time.
It is a long time. The Jaguars are brilliant. They're fantastic cars. I've had a clutch pressure plate play up once, and to be honest with you, that's about it. Really, it's been super reliable. It's just consumables, brake pads, tires, that sort of thing.
So, what would you recommend that other club members come out and do CSCA events?
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. You don't need to. You just need a reasonably roadworthy vehicle to do it in. All you need to do is put in a fire extinguisher, and that's about it. Make sure that the brakes and the tyres are in good condition, but it's just a lot of fun. Highly recommend it.
So are you racing other cars or are you doing it against the clock?
Doing it against the clock. So it's a bit like a Formula One qualifying. So you're going out there ultimately to set the fastest lap time of the day. So it's terrific. You can run with friends in equal cars, but yes, ultimately you are against the clock.
And who else are you running against today?
So my main protagonists are two other Mark II Jaguars, one from Tony Pallas and the other is Lionel Walker.
Right.
So very similar but different cars, and depending on the day, any one of us could be setting that fastest lap time. So you never know. That's what makes it exciting.
Thank you very much, Tim.
No worries, my pleasure.
So, there you have it, folks. This is a brief summary of the activities of some of the Jaguar Drivers Club members at the Sydney Motorsport Park. We are fortunate to have several other venues for motorsport activity in New South Wales, including several other race circuits and hill climbs. As I mentioned before, the best thing to do is to come along to a club meeting and have a chat to the competition secretary, or alternatively, have a look at the club website at jaguar.org.au, where you will find a whole lot of information, but nothing beats personal contact. The Jaguar Drivers Club has many touring and social events if motorsport is not quite what you're looking for. It's great to come to one of our events with your partner and meet some other people with a common interest. We do actually talk about other things than cars.